Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to our Thursday evening training. From wherever you're joining us, let me give you a warm welcome and invite you to relax and spend the next 1 hour with us, talking about our business and our products. So for those who are joining us for the first time or the first few times, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Betty Olo, a long-time Neolife distributor, and one always very glad to have this opportunity to spend time with you on a Thursday evening discussing our products and how to position ourselves to better help those people who come to us for help. But of course, first always is to help ourselves because we want to be in good health and we want to spread that good health to all the people we meet. So whether you are here on our continent of Africa or you are further afield, relax and let's see what today's Q&A is going to be. So you'll have seen from your invite that we are once again today on our Q&A session, which is one we very much like because it gives us an opportunity to speak about what you are coming across as you go about doing the business. So the first question was someone wanted to know, what do I mean when I say a sedentary lifestyle? So the definition is that your occupation probably requires that you spend long periods of time seated, but what they found is if you are walking less than 6,000 steps per day, that counts as sedentary. So sedentary does not mean that you are absolutely not walking about, but if you are doing less than 6,000 steps a day, you are in the category of sedentary. If you're above 10,000 steps per day, if you have got those, maybe the watches and the other gadgets that count your steps, to be described as an active lifestyle, you need to be going more than 10,000 steps per day. So this, I think, was a good question in order to help us to be able to gauge whether we are actually living an active lifestyle or we are living a sedentary lifestyle. So above 10,000 active, below 6,000 sedentary. And in between, we have got various levels of sedentary or active. Then the next question is one that unfortunately comes fairly often and comes from different sources. So this is about neuropathy or nerve pain, or generally people describe it as nerve issues. Usually it's different types of pain, maybe feeling extreme pains in the extremities like the fingers and the toes, or it may also manifest as painful or burning sensations on the finger, the hands and the feet. So this is something that is often linked to diabetes, or it can also be due to other injuries and maybe nutritional deficiencies and even toxin exposure. So as I said, the most common will be maybe it's linked to diabetes and the damage that diabetes does to the nerves, or it could be someone who has been undergoing chemotherapy can also have this nerve pain or neuropathy, and so on. So here with the supplements, we can help. Remember, if someone has got type 2 diabetes or diabetes in general, we have got supplements to help them have a better sugar metabolism. This is usually founded on botanical balance and threonine, together with fiber supplements. It could be multi-fiber blend, or it could be fiber tablets, which you use to supplement the fiber in your diet. But for neuropathy, we recommend magnesium complex, recommend vitamin B complex, and omega-3 salmon oil. So if the person has got pre-diabetes or diabetes, then we'd also recommend that they add botanical balance and threonine to help the body to reverse the damage that the diabetes would have been doing to the system. Don't just work on the neuropathy, but work on the root of the neuropathy. Another one could be, someone said this was nerve issues after a stroke. So if it is after a stroke, the first thing that I'd like to mention is that if you have had one stroke, it increases your chances of having another stroke. So that is why post-stroke, apart from the 3 magnesium complex, vitamin B complex, and omega-3 salmon oil, we'll also want to add vitamin E to prevent the recurrence of a stroke. But also on a cautionary there, for someone who has had a stroke, it may be likely that your doctor has put you on blood thinners. If you're on blood thinners, then your doctor needs to know and may recommend that you don't use vitamin E and omega-3 salmon oil because they also contribute to the thinning of the blood. So you may need to discuss here with your doctor for the person who was asking about nerve issues as a result of having had a stroke. So we have the supplement there, magnesium complex, vitamin B complex, and omega-3 salmon oil, as well as vitamin E. But if you're on blood thinners, then you need to be cautious in the use of omega-3 and vitamin E. Discuss with your doctor. Many doctors now are beginning to be well aware of the benefits of using supplements to help with the resolving some of these health issues. Then the next question is another one which is has come from different sources, and this was about an enlarged thyroid. So an enlarged thyroid is also described as goiter, which is an enlargement at the base of the neck. It can also be under other names such as Hashimoto's disease, also manifests as goiter, and Graves' disease can also manifest as goiter. So goiter simply refers to the enlargement of the thyroid gland, which is found at the base, at the front and base of the neck. And it can be a bit confusing because it can indicate either that the thyroid gland is underactive or overactive. So my first recommendation is to get a good investigation and test from your doctor to establish whether the goiter is due to an underactive thyroid gland or an overactive one. In addition to that, then there are some lifestyle points that would be recommended. This will be eliminate problematic foods. Here I'm talking about seed oils or factory oils, refined carbohydrates, tobacco. If you're a smoker, you need to stop, as well as excessive use of alcohol. Opt for healthier fats, as well as a diet rich in green leafy vegetables. Then the supplements that we would recommend for general thyroid health will be multimineral alfalfa, which contains iodine and other minerals that assist the proper functioning of the thyroid gland. At the same time, we recommend Cruciferous Plus, which is an important supplement for helping the body to get rid of unwanted growths. And then we also recommend omega-3 salmon oil. So that is in general. Then if specifically hypothyroidism, which is also an underactive thyroid gland, also can be Hashimoto's disease. This tends to be an autoimmune condition, and but it can also be as a result of not having enough iodine in your diet. So again, hypothyroidism, we will notice things like, apart from the goiter, there may be, the person may be overweight and struggling to maintain a healthy weight. They may also have blood pressure that is on the lower side. So that will indicate an underactive thyroid gland or hypothyroidism. So in the lifestyle side, we'll recommend that you have good healthy proteins in your diet, and reduce the amount of carbohydrates in general, but especially eliminate processed carbohydrates. Use rather minimally processed carbohydrates from your cultural diet. Then for hypothyroidism or an underactive thyroid, on the Neolife side, we recommend multimineral alfalfa, as we say, to support thyroid function. We also recommend vitamin B complex to help boost the metabolism, which tends to be sluggish if you have an underactive thyroid. We also recommend chelated zinc and carotenoid complex. So those supplements will help to support the activity of the thyroid gland. If, on the other hand, it is hyperthyroidism, that is a thyroid gland that is overactive, this again can be another result of an autoimmune condition such as Graves' disease. And unlike the other one, we find that the people will tend to be irritable, suffering from insomnia or the inability to sleep. They may have stomach upsets, and they may even have tremors in their hands. So hyperthyroidism is more of an agitated type of condition. And this is, in this one, the lifestyle point that we will have there is avoid using problematic foods like dairy and wheat, and also stimulants such as caffeine, because as you can see, the symptoms already indicate irritability, insomnia, and a fairly agitated system. So do not add to it by taking stimulants like caffeine and other such stuff. Then the supplements we recommend for an overactive thyroid or hyperthyroidism will be multimineral alfalfa, once again, to support the thyroid in its function. We also recommend cruciferous plus to help resolve the goiter, and we recommend magnesium complex. You may need to take quite a bit of magnesium complex, maybe increase the dose above the normal, especially to help with relaxation and sleep. This tends to be a problem with the hyperactive thyroid gland. Then the next question was one which I think was repeated because I had the exact same question last time. And this was about a child who is eating stones and sand. And here again, I said it is only a problem if this reaches a certain point. Small children tend to be a bit adventurous in tasting all kinds of things. But if you notice that this is getting out of hand, then it could indicate that you need to give them some basic supplementation. So here we would say Vita Squares, we would say vitamin chewable C, which is easier for small children. And then you can add vitamin A plus D, or ensure that they're getting plenty of sun exposure. If the issue is not resolving, then you can add half a tablet of multimineral alfalfa, just in case the problem is due to lack of adequate supplements in their diet. But you can also look on the dietary side to ensure that they're getting healthy foods that are rich in the nutrients that their growing bodies require. But in general, overeating of stones and sand could indicate there's a nutrient that is missing, and it's often mineral types of nutrients. But remember, minerals are not enough on their own. A mineral like iron is better absorbed when you have got, with the help of vitamin C, and a mineral like calcium is better absorbed with the help of vitamin D. So that is why we'll not only get the mineral supplements, but we'll also add the vitamins that help in the absorption. Because the thing could be that the diet has got the nutrients, but the absorption is what is the problem, or the digestion of the food in order to extract the nutrients. So the next question was about an allergy that is showing on the skin. I'm imagining it might be a skin rash or something of the kind. So the first lifestyle point is try to identify and avoid triggers wherever possible. Of course, it may not always be possible, but if possible, avoid the triggers as you try to resolve the issue. The reaction, some skin allergy and reactions can originate from the gut or from the things which are being applied on the skin. So as you are trying to find what is triggering, don't check only what is maybe on the skin. Also check if maybe after eating certain things, the reaction is more, or if applying certain skincare things makes the reaction worse. Some of the allergy causing things may be the foods themselves, but it could also be food additives like preservatives and colorants and so on. Or it could be ingredients in your skincare. And once again, to recommend skincare from Neolife, which is hypoallergenic, because all the ingredients are well tested to be safe for use on sensitive skin. Then we will recommend the supplements that we'll use to help the body to resolve the allergy. This will be vitamin A plus D. We recommend also omega-3 salmon oil, chelated zinc, and to apply on the affected areas, aloe vera gel, which helps to soothe the skin irritation. Then the next question was one for which I do not have a recommendation, and this is baldness in men. So baldness tend to run in families, and I do not have a good recommendation for this, unfortunately. So maybe if I come across something that seems convincing, then I'll put it in a future Q&A. But as far as I'm able to tell, baldness simply seems to run in certain men and certain maybe in their family. And so I think that there I have nothing to offer. Then the next question was someone who about what to recommend to someone who is craving alcohol or cannabis. So this is probably someone who has made a very good decision to stop using these substances, alcohol and cannabis. And the first things I'll recommend are the lifestyle changes, because remember, we do not have a magic supplement that will simply solve a problem. It has to be a joint effort between our lifestyle assisted by our supplements. So the first thing is find new ways to cope with stress. Most people tend to use these substances to cope with situations that they find difficult. And then also find new friends, because a lot of times when we are using some of these substances, it could be that we are doing so in the company of certain groups of people. So if you've decided to break away from the use of these substances, it will be important to spend time with other people who are not using the substances, so that they are able maybe to inspire you to not fall back into the habit. Also, you can find hobbies to avoid idleness, because when one is idle, maybe the thoughts of the craving can be more overwhelming. For example, you can join a substance use disorder recovery group in your community, maybe in your church or such. And these are some of the lifestyle things that you can do, so that you develop habits that will support you in the absence of the substance. Then on the Neolife side, we recommend that because substance abuse tends to interfere with the absorption of some important nutrients, and also when one is abusing substances, you may not be as careful with the nutrition in your diet. We'll recommend that you use ProVitality for general supplementation, vitamin B complex, which helps to boost energy and mood, and also magnesium complex, which helps in relaxation and sleep. So these supplements are to assist you in the effort of stopping the misuse of these substances. And the lifestyle points are to help you to be able to socialize in a way that does not bring back the substance into your life. Okay, then the next question is one I think that I've not had before, and someone wanted to know what can be recommended for a hemophiliac, someone who suffers from the illness which prevents proper clotting of blood, so they tend to bleed heavily, even from minor injuries, so hemophilia. So the first cautionary is that because of this tendency not to clot the blood well, our blood thinning supplements may not be recommended. The doctor may recommend that you do not use vitamin E and omega-3 salmon oil, because these tend to thin the blood. And so if you have got bleeding problems, it might be not such a good idea. That you can discuss it with your doctor if you feel, for example, that you'd like to have omega-3 in your supplementation, because it does have some benefits of its own. Then, of course, also eat a healthy, nutritious diet to support the body in this illness, and also include low-impact exercise in the lifestyle to support joint health. And this is because one of the things that side effects of hemophilia is damage to the joints, because if bleeding, let's say you injure a joint like the elbow, which is a joint that is often on the peripheries of our bodies, we can easily hit our elbow, or someone can bump our elbow. And in hemophilia, this can be the beginning of a bleed. When the bleeding the blood that is coming out enters the joint, it tends to lead to a lot of joint damage. So hemophilia is often characterized by joint damage. And so for that reason, it is good to not do high impact exercise. So high impact exercises are exercises where maybe you jump up and down, and so the impact is high. Maybe opt for exercises that include walking or things like yoga, where you do not have high impact, but you're able to maintain good joint health and mobility. The supplements that we will recommend here will be vitamin B complex, which is very important for our blood health and energy production. We also recommend vitamin C that helps in healing. We recommend multimineral alfalfa to ensure that there is enough minerals to support the blood system. And then if to help with the possibility of joint damage, which is, as I said, is common with hemophilia, we'll also add calmag, and we'll recommend also vitamin D, which helps to improve calcium absorption to sustain and maintain joints and mobility. So that is a recommendation for hemophilia. Then another question was about ovarian cysts. So this is also can also be a condition that is described as polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. So these cysts will be growths that appear on the surface of the ovaries. And these conditions are often linked to poor sugar metabolism. So another illness where the culprit is blood sugar issues. So check and resolve blood sugar issues. And here we will say check for pre-diabetes or diabetes, or if you even have a history of blood issues in your family or polycystic ovarian issues in your family, then it means that you need to attend to your blood sugar metabolism and opt for healthy fats rather than factory fats or seed oils, as they are called. Eliminate sugar from your diet altogether, and also eliminate all Western style foods that are, especially carbohydrates, which are highly processed. So rather opt for, if let us say you are from East Africa, some of our cultural carbohydrates will be things like matoke made from bananas. There'll be things like millet, there'll be things like arrowroots, and so on. These will be better choices of carbohydrates to support you in energy production without upsetting your sugar system. So try to keep the carbohydrates on the lower side, but also if you do have blood sugar issues, it is important to get to that by using botanical balance and TRINN. Then for the specific condition of ovarian cyst, we'll say use cruciferous plus, herbal feminine complex, and beta-GAD, because some of these issues will involve an accumulation of toxins in your system. So if you have blood sugar issues or pre-diabetes, add botanical balance to that, but the recommendation is cruciferous plus, herbal feminine complex, and beta-GAD. Then another question was about polycystic kidney disease. So this one is a genetic illness. And one of the things that in the lifestyle that can help is time-restricted meals. That is, or also referred to as intermittent fasting, where you eat for maybe 2 or 3 times a day and do not eat in between those meals, so that your body has got time to deal with the food and your system is able to have a break from that, from in between meals. So you may start with 3 meals and then reduce them to 2 by maybe taking a breakfast a little later in the day and having your dinner a little earlier in the day, until you combine the 3 meals into 2 meals. And this way you'll have periods of the day where your system can take a break from dealing with food and the substances that we get from our food. And then, of course, eliminate refined carbohydrates and reduce carbohydrates in general for this condition. Then we recommend supplements to assist with polycystic kidney disease. We recommend aloe vera plus, vitamin B complex, and vitamin E. Again, as I say, this is a genetic illness, which means that you'll need to be able to live with the illness, try to opt for a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle, and use those supplements to assist. Then another question was someone who wanted to know why sickle cell anemia is so common around the shores of the Great Lake in East Africa, Namlolwe, as we call it on our side, or Lake Victoria, as it was formerly called. And the reason for this is that sickle cell anemia is a result of a gene mutation that confers resistance to malaria. So people who have got this gene, this mutated gene, are actually resistant to a certain degree to malaria. So although it confers resistance to malaria, the degree of advantage it gives people living in malarial areas is significant. Unfortunately, if you have two of the gene, then you'll have sickle cell anemia. But if you only have one of the sickle gene, then you'll have a tendency to be resistant to malaria. And that is why the gene mutation has survived in the communities that live in malarial areas, not only in East Africa, but also in West Africa and Middle East. So here, just to say that if one has just one sickle gene, such as myself, for instance, I'm a carrier of the sickle cell gene, as is Pascal also. We both carry the sickle cell gene, so do two of our sons. But our third son, Felix, has got two of the genes. He got one from each of us. And that means that he has sickle cell anemia, which means that he's resistant to malaria. Unfortunately, if someone with sickle cell does get malaria, it can get serious very quickly. But someone who is a carrier of one sickle gene will rarely get malaria, and when they get malaria, they are able to recover from it fairly well. So that is why this gene mutation has survived in these areas, because it has conferred resistance to malaria for those who are carriers. Unfortunately, for those who have the sickle cell anemia condition, it is quite problematic. So that, I think, is a brief answer about that. And then the next question, someone wanted to know what to recommend for severe acne. So acne is a skin condition which is inflammatory, so it's driven by inflammation of the skin. And it affects the glands that is at the base, the glands that are within our skin. Some of them produce oil, and some of them are the ones out of which hair grows. So the lifestyle points that we give for sickle cell, for severe acne will be, it could be unavoidable, because one of the reasons why there can be severe acne will be hormonal changes that occur at adolescence. And in fact, some women, as they go into menopause, can also start having acne. Then there also can be certain foods that worsen or exacerbate the acne. These are foods that do not agree with your gut, or your gut may already be in poor condition, so that it gets inflamed by many different types of food, which should not be problematic. Another cause for severe acne can be the use of harsh cleansers, which irritate the skin and inflame it even more, so that as you use these harsh cleansers, they make the gland and the oil glands in your skin become irritated, and there can be patches of rashy looking parts, and there can also be infections that come on the skin as a result of that. A diet rich in factory fats can worsen this, as well as an excess of refined carbohydrates, including sugar. So remove those from the diet, and then use a mild cleanser. So for example, the gentle makeup remover from our Neolife skincare is a very mild cleanser that will support the skin while cleaning it. So rather than using some of these acne cleansers that dry and irritate the skin and make the skin even more agitated, opt for a very mild cleanser, which I recommend, gentle makeup remover. It's not only for removing makeup, it is also good for simply cleaning your face. Then we recommend aloe vera gel. It would be very good for soothing the inflammation on the skin. If you find that the skin is very dry, you can add a small amount of glycerin to your aloe vera gel just to reduce the dryness, because if the skin is inflamed, it might be lacking moisture as well. Then we also recommend chelated zinc, and vitamin A plus D. Both of these support skin health. So gentle makeup remover as a cleanser, aloe vera gel, this to apply, and then to take internally, chelated zinc and vitamin A plus D to deal with acne. Remember, if you have acne, please do not add makeup to the skin which is already inflamed, because it will only make things worse. So while you are still resolving this skin issue, try to do without makeup. I know that there are people who, as a result of their jobs or their preference, find it difficult to go without makeup. But if your skin is already reacting badly, then maybe ensure that you do a good cleansing as soon as possible after having applied the makeup. And the best makeup is good skin. So try to focus on how to bring your skin back to health. Because remember, the skin is an organ, and we can work towards making it healthier by using the supplements and also good skincare products. Next question was what to recommend as cardiovascular supplements. And here we'll recommend, they did not say for a particular condition, maybe they simply want better cardiovascular health, which is always a good thing. So we recommend Provitality, we recommend lipotropic adjunct, garlic allium complex, and coenzyme Q10. So those four will be our cardiovascular supplements: Provitality, lipotropic adjunct, garlic allium complex, and coenzyme Q10. If your budget is a bit tight, maybe you can at least take omega-3 and N from the out if you are not able to buy the full Provitality. Next question was how to use garlic allium complex for ulcers. So here I will simply say use the dosage that is recommended on the box and take the supplement with meals. And I think that will be the easiest way to go about it. And if you're on ulcer medication, you can take them as recommended by your doctor. So use the recommended dose on the garlic allium complex and take with meals. Then another question was how to use supplements in conjunction with high blood pressure medication. So again, here, remember that the supplements supplement our lifestyle, and something like high blood pressure is a lifestyle-related illness. So our first aim in this is to have a lifestyle that supports good blood health, and here it will be including exercise and eliminating poor dietary choices from your diet. Discuss with your doctor and let him know you want to make some lifestyle adjustments to help you resolve the issue. Because, of course, the high blood pressure medication is not curing the high blood pressure. It is simply dealing with the symptoms. So I'm sure if you explain this to your doctor that you would actually want to resolve your blood pressure problems, any good doctor will be willing to support you in this. And another thing you can do is to get a blood pressure monitor to use at home. There are some that you can buy now that you use at home so that you are able to monitor your own blood pressure. So you take the responsibility for your illness into your own hands. And you can take the supplements together with your meals at a different time from your medication. So take the supplements with your meals and then monitor your blood pressure using the blood pressure monitor. I do not recommend that you suddenly just stop taking the medication that is prescribed you. What we will do is do the lifestyle changes to support your health, and then use a home blood pressure monitor to see how your blood pressure is going so that you'll be able to discuss with your doctor. If you notice that your blood pressure is monitoring for prolonged periods, then you'll be able to have a point of telling your doctor that, look, I'm taking this lifestyle changes and I'm finding that my blood pressure is better most of the time. So can you adjust my medication accordingly? So that is what I would recommend. And maybe, as I've said, you can discuss this with your doctor and see if you're able to come up with a plan that will ensure that you get your blood pressure normalized using your lifestyle changes, and that will be able to progressively use less and less of the blood pressure medication until you wean yourself out of them. But what I do not recommend is to just simply dump the medication you're on and start doing all the other things you think you should be doing. Rather, go slowly, because changing of habits, we don't get high blood pressure out of nowhere. It comes from lifestyle choices that we were making. So get into better habits, better lifestyle habits, and then progressively reduce your medication as your blood pressure stays normal for long periods. Another question, I think this might be the last one for today. Someone wanted to know what supplements to recommend for type 2 diabetes. Again, this is another frequent question that we get. And the type 2 diabetes is another lifestyle illness. So we need to have a lifestyle that supports a healthy sugar metabolism. So try time-restricted eating, also known as intermittent fasting, so that your body is not continuously dealing with food. And then eliminate sugar from your diet, as well as factory fats and processed carbohydrates. Opt for good carbohydrates that are minimally processed and rich in fiber, so that you don't upset your blood sugar frequently. And then include gentle exercise after your meal. So let us say you have your supper at around 6, maybe try to have your supper a bit earlier. You can do some gentle walking around, even if you simply do stationary walking at home. If maybe you're not in a neighborhood where it's safe to go out late in the evening, you can try to do some gentle exercises after your meals, because this helps you, your cells to be more sensitive to insulin, and helps you to deal with those issues. We have excellent supplements to help with diabetes. This will be Botanical Balance, will be Tri-N, fiber tablets, and also magnesium complex. So this will be our recommended supplements for type 2 diabetes. But remember, we call them supplements because they are supposed to supplement our healthy lifestyle and diet choices, as I have recommended above. So I see that my time has been up for a while, but I would like to thank you very much for having spent the time and the data, spending it with us this evening. I hope that you found the Q&A interesting and has touched on questions that maybe you have come across or have been having your own self. And so with that, I want to wish you a good evening and hand you over to Pascal, who is here beside me, ready to take you through the next session.
Thank you very much, Betty. I think with all those questions answered, now we can help ourselves, help our customers to help them with our products, because remember, the mission of our company is to make the world a happier and a healthier place. So now I want to take you through the session of the main thing. I think if you see today's topic is doing the main thing. When I say the main thing, what do I mean? I mean that all of us join this business. Okay, let me say not all of us. Most of us join the business to generate some income. Initially, it may have been you joined the business because you had a health challenge, or you joined the business because you wanted to use the products. But when you went to a meeting or you saw people becoming successful, earning a bit of more money, you decided you're going to make this business an income-generating business. So when I say the main thing, it means the thing you need to focus 80 to 90% of your effort to building this business, and that is talking to people. That is the main thing of our business. What our duty is to move products from Neolife to different consumers, to different customers, starting with ourselves, because we need to be our first best customers. If you're not your best customer, you need to think again. So what is the main thing? The main thing is just talking to people. The first step of the main thing, in fact, another way for the main thing is the basics. The first one is using the products. I think Betty has done a very good session on products. It will help you to think about the product you need to use or the product you need to recommend to your friends and relatives. The next thing that you need to be doing all the time, which makes part of the main thing, is servicing products to customers. 3 things are required, essentially. 1 is product knowledge, knowing what our products do. 2 is listening to our customers. What are the problems our customers have that we can solve or we can relieve their stress using our products? And number 3, keeping in touch with our customers. Those are the essential things about moving products to our customers. But the other part, which you need to spend most of your effort and time, is building a team. Sponsoring is actually the correct word. Recruiting is just getting people to start. Sponsoring means bringing them into the business, teaching them how to build it, and holding their hand until they're confident to build a business in your absence. What process does it entail? What does it include? Step number 1, name list. You need a list of at least 100 to 200 people. Why? If you start the business, you write a list of 10 people and 9 people say no, you're already stressing. You're already thinking this thing doesn't work. But if you have a list of 100, 150, and 10 people say no, you still have 140 people to speak to. You're not stressing. So when you start the business, make sure you have a long list of people. How do you get that long list? Take your phone, go to the contact list, write names of the people on your contact list, with the goal to speaking to them one by one about our business. Then from your name list, the next thing is learn how to invite correctly. Inviting simply means asking the question that you should ask all our prospects. For example, are you open to look at a way to earn additional income by promoting some products? Or are you open to look at a business concept that you can do on a part-time basis without quitting what you're doing? Are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? All those are questions that a lot of people will say, yes, I'm interested. Okay? A few things. You need to prepare mentally to ask that question. And number 2, whatever the answer the prospect makes, make sure you follow up with the right proposal or suggestion. For example, you ask somebody, let me say you meet somebody at the bank or in a matatu or taxi, or you meet them in the back, wherever you meet them, and you have a light chat and you exchange contacts. When you get home, you call and say, Rose, this is Pascal. We met at the bank the other day. I've got a question for you. Are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? Or are you open to look at a business concept that you can do part-time to generate additional income? And if they say yes, the next thing is, okay, I want to send you some information to have a look at. Or if you want to meet them one-on-one, I'd like to set up a 10 to 15-minute discussion with you. Is Tuesday 2 o'clock okay for you? If they're busy, suggest another date, venue, and time. Once you do that, then confirm the meeting. That is the inviting process. The more you do it, the better you become. The only bad invitation is one that is not done. You're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you're going to say things which you shouldn't say, but you actually learn by doing. So invite correctly for either one-on-one, or invite somebody to watch a video, or invite somebody to look at a CD, whatever it is, so that they see the business. But I would also like to suggest use tools in the business as much as possible. Why is that the case? So that people can duplicate what you do without being proficient. I have found that the more tools you use, the faster your business grows. Why? Because the tools do for you what maybe you're not very proficient at doing. And secondly, even if you've been in the business for a long time, there's somebody in your team who has just started the business. And if you use a tool, it will help your people who are not even experienced to actually conclude that this business, what I need to do is share this video. What I need to do is share this information. And then your business grows at a faster pace. Once you've invited correctly, the prospects have seen the business, you need to learn to tell your story. Telling your story is one of the most powerful things you can do to grow your business. Why is that the case? Because stories sell. Facts tell, stories tell. Why? Because people can relate to your story. When you overwhelm your prospects with information, it becomes difficult for them to see what you're actually telling them. But when you share your story, first, they connect with your story emotionally. Number two, in their mind, they begin to see that I can also do what this person has done. So learn to tell your story. Your story has got 4 components. 1, what you did before you joined Neolife. 2, how you came across Neolife. Number 3, when you joined, what has been the benefit, either the product side or the business side. And number 4, how does the future look like? Those are the 4 steps of telling your story. And then learn how to follow up and close your prospect. Following up simply means you commit to the promise you made by telling the prospect, okay, you've seen the business. Can I call you tomorrow so that we can finalize this idea? Or is there any other information you need so that you can make a decision to start the business? That question is very powerful. Somebody might say, I want to think about it. Ask them, okay, is there anything specific you want to think through? Apart from thinking about it, is there anything else that you need to know so that you can come to a decision about building the business or about starting the business? It's very important to ask that question because you eliminate any other reason or any other excuse the prospects may have of not making a decision. My experience is that most people are slow in making a decision or they're afraid of making that decision. The business concept is very simple and very clear in my mind. And I think most people can actually see what the business does. But people have to cross that step of emotionally committing themselves to look for the money and get started in the business. Okay, so that is the main thing you need to be doing all the time, talking to people and telling them to do what you need to do, telling them what the business is, telling your story so that they can relate to it to help them make a decision. So keep the main thing by talking to lots of people every day. The more people you speak to or the more people you talk to, the chances of you getting the people to join your business and the chances of success in your business. So keep the main thing. And what is the main thing? Talking to people. But the next thing is this. How do you ensure that when your business grows, your business can grow with or without you? It depends on duplication. It depends on whether there is duplication in your team. Duplication simply means that you get a prospect, you help them make a decision, they start the business, you teach them what to do so that even in your absence, they can build a business. That is what duplication is. It is a key to a large organization. It is a key to building a global business. It is a key to building a business that grows 24/7. Duplication. The second thing about duplication is simplicity. Simplicity is a very powerful aspect of duplication. And the reason for that is very simple, because if your business is very complicated, if you do the business in a very complicated way, the people in your team find it difficult to duplicate what you're doing. In fact, what you need to keep asking yourself all the time is this thing I am doing, can anybody who is 1 week old in the business do it? If the answer is no, think about it again. Because duplication is what actually builds power in your organization. And that means that the things you do have to be very simple in the business. And that is why it's important for you to use tools. That leads me to number 3. The reason why you need to use tools is that the tools actually replace you. The tools work even in places where you're not. The tools help you to do the business, help you to share the business professionally with your prospects. In fact, the more you use your tools in your business, first thing, you need to know what tool it is. Is it a video? Is it a magazine? Is it a CD? Is it a product catalog? Whatever it is. Whatever tool it is, you need to know how to use it. Let me give you an example. If you have a short video, some time ago when I was in Kenya last year, we made a 10-minute video that helps you prospect, help you share the business with prospects. And the best way I've found that helps you grow the business is to ask your prospects, are you open to look at a way to generate additional income? You say yes. The next question is, I have a 10-minute video that I would like to send you to review. Either say yes, okay, send it to me. If I send it to you, when would you watch it? That question is designed that way so that the prospect can actually schedule the time they're going to watch it. If they say, if it's 10 minutes, I'll watch it this evening, or I'll watch it tomorrow morning. Next question. So if I send it to you, by tomorrow morning, you'll have watched the video. They say yes. All right, I'm going to send you the video now. I'll speak to you tomorrow. What time is the best time for me to call you so that we discuss the contents of the video? So the video is actually doing the explanation on your behalf. That's how your business gains speed and becomes more duplicatable using tools. Number 4, you need to master the basics. That's what we've been talking about. Mastering the basics, just know how to do the business. Write a name list, know how to invite, know how to share the business, know how to follow up and close prospects. Then know how to start new people in the business. Know how to sell events. These are the things that help the business to grow with or without you. Then teach others to do and use the system properly. Using the system simply means they need to know when business opportunity presentations are done. They need to know, eventually, if they become senior manager, they need to know how to present the business themselves. They need to know how to do a product training, 5-10 minute session on a product. Once you teach your people this, the business grows without you. Then in your activities, include fun. And the reason for that is, even adults, even people who have reached the 6th floor like myself, we would like to have some fun. So include fun in your activities. And the reason for this is, when you have fun, your mind is open for change. Your mind is open for change when you have fun. When there's no fun, you find learning becomes a challenge. Go and look at how children learn. Children learn by doing, and when there is excitement and fun, the speed of learning is higher. Use the same principle, and then multiply yourself. It simply means teach the people to do what you do. If you do this, you'll have mastered duplication, and your business will grow with or without you. And if you do that, one day you'd be able to take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months without doing much in the business, and the business keeps growing. Because all of us are looking for financial and time freedom in this business. And that only comes from using the system, using the duplication principles, and your business grows with or without you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for spending some time with Betty and myself. I hope that what we have shared with you this evening will help you to grow your business to the next level. Good night and God bless.